Turn your lights down low, and I'm blowing the wind. God, oh, let the moon come shining into our lives again. Say, ooh, Jamaica, maybe. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great day. Hold on. I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. Oh, fixing. Fix this. Okay, I think this is good. Hello, my loves. How are you guys doing today? I wish I have a Jamaican accent. I wish I can speak patois. I love Jamaica. If you love Jamaica and you're not Jamaican, leave a comment. Say, I love Jamaica. If you see this, if you watch this, say, I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I try to go to Jamaica at least twice a year. If I'm not gonna go, I try to go once a year. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to go this year because basketball literally consumed our life this summer. Spring break, we'll go to Bahamas every spring break because most of my kids' friends and most people, when we have 2 weeks spring break. As my daughter's school, because she goes to a boarding school, but she's a day student. And most of the kids from the reason why my kid, I think her school is the only school because most times when we tell people, oh, she has 2 weeks, so they have a week before they start a week before every other school starts, right? And then they have that week, and then the week every other school starts. So they have 2 weeks. So the reason why my daughter's school, I'm gonna talk about why. You already saw the title, right? The reason why she has 2 weeks spring break is because of the boarding students. So they get to go home. They have a lot of Asians, people from Asia country, Africa, Europe in high school. They live there, they're from there. So they have a lot of people from there that are boarding. So they have that 2 weeks, so they get to go home. Now, you know, to fly to Africa is almost 24 hours sometimes, even if you fly in business or first class. Which the kids at her school, they all fly first class or business class. International most times is business class. They fly business class back home, so they have enough time to spend with their family, and they come back 2 weeks later to school. But anyway, so spring break, we go to Bahamas most of the time, and then she doesn't like to take too long at spring break because she wants to come right back and start practicing basketball. Excuse me. So like summertime, we go to Jamaica. Summertime, and then when school is out during like Christmas time. But this year, we're not going. We didn't go summertime because if you know how AAU, especially high school AAU basketball, right after high school basketball, school is done at school, you go into AAU practice, and then basketball AAU select start. So until end of July, and then mid-August, school starts. So by the time you take your time, and then she wants to, now that she's a 10th grader, she wants to just continue practice mode. And then when I go to Jamaica, you see the smile on my face when I said Jamaica? When I go to Jamaica, I like to be there at least 10 days. I don't want to go to Jamaica. I know people will be like, what are you doing in Jamaica for 10 days? Those people are like Nigerians. Why would I want to be there and it's close? Nigeria is far. So when I want to feel like, or get treated like I'm in Nigeria, most of the time, I can go to Jamaica. They act most times, if you've been to Jamaica and you're Nigerian or you're African, please leave a comment and let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Most times, Jamaicans act like Nigerians. Almost every time, my daughter one time is like, oh, mama, geez, are you going to continue to say this? Like every time you see them act like Nigerians, the way they act, like even the way they like say sorry, like when they do something wrong, like when you have people that are helping you, or they're supposed to do something for you and it's wrong, or they forgot or something, the way they apologize, the way they make sure that you're okay, the way they make sure that it's fixed, even the way they act, their lifestyle. And mind you, when you meet Jamaicans, They tell you that most of them, like, oh, they know from the motherland, right? The slavery days. And most of them claim Nigerian. They were like, oh, I'm Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. If you're Nigerian or African, if this happened to you, when they know you're African, they ask you, you're Nigerian? The first thing they ask, are you Nigerian? You say no. They're like, oh, and then they tell you, oh, I watch a lot of Nigerian movies. I'm Nigerian too. And I'm like, I remember telling some of them, like, no, you know. They're like, yeah, if I was to find out where I'm originally from, like my ancestry and stuff, is Nigeria. I'm like, okay, why don't you guys, I'm like, so I jokingly tell them, like, you know, there are other countries. They're like, yeah, I know, but I know I'm from Nigeria. Like the way you guys act, when we see you guys, if you don't have an American accent or have any other accent, and we know that you have a Nigerian accent, we can easily tell you Nigerian, the way you guys act, the way you live, the way, you know. And then I know some of them, some Jamaicans are like, oh, we know, you know. And Nigerians too flex a lot. Like, when I mean flexing, like money, and, you know, they like Nigerian people's lifestyle, most Nigerian people's lifestyle, and they like how Nigerians act. So most of them always say they watch a lot of. Listen, I barely watch Nigerian movies. Jamaicans, they were telling me a whole lot, calling actresses' names, actors' names, telling me a bunch of Nigerian movies. And I'm like, I've not seen that movie. Like, oh, you should go watch it. Oh my God, I love watching Nigerian movies. They listen to Nigerian songs. If you've been to Jamaica and you know a Jamo, leave a comment. They love listening to Nigerian songs too, Bahamas too. So, Jamaicans are like Nigerians. Nigerians are like Jamaicans. And I love it because I love Jamaica. I love the people. I love the country. I love everything. One time, I went to go look at property there. That's how much I love Jamaica. I went to go look at property there, and then I decided, like, I'll wait till my daughter graduates high school and she goes to college. Because college school fees right now, tuition is crazy. So I'm like, just to be sure, 100%, you know, before I start spending, you know, getting stuff and spending, how let my child's education, it will always come first. Just like when I was growing up, my parents always said, our kids, so education will always come first. So I told before I became a real estate agent, right? So I told him, I'll hold off on it in a few years. I'll revisit it again, you know. So now, most times I like to stay at Royalty Blue Waters when I go, like the swimming pool, always. Because the first time I started going to Jamaica for sure after college, like maybe I started frequenting Jamaica, like frequently for like the past 5 years. The first time I stayed at Royalty Blue Waters, and I never looked back since then. Mind you, I'm a member. I'm a club member. I have a club membership for, what's the resort? What's the resort in so Royalty Blue Waters is the Trelawney, right? And then what's that resort? The resort hotel is also in Mexico. I became a member in Mexico. What's the name of that resort? Hold on. While I'm talking, let me find it, because I know I recently just tried to tell them I don't want to be a member anymore, but they said I still have to pay full, complete. What's the name of the hotel I'm a member? Miami Star, Royalty Hotel. Okay, that's Royalty Blue Waters. No. Western Hotel. No. Hotels. What's the name of the hotel? I can't remember that I'm a member. But I've never used it. I always go to Royalty Blue. I did it in Mexico because my daughter wanted to stay there, so I signed up. But in Jamaica, I like Royalty Blue Waters. If you haven't been to Royalty Blue Waters, it's fun. I love it. You know, and I like the swim-up pool. So let me say the story why I said Jamaicans are like Nigerians. This brings me to my story today. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe, and leave a comment and leave your opinions. Share this video, and please be respectful to others when you leave in comments. We can go back and forth, but let's be respectful to one another, because I always want this to be a safe place. The reason why I said Jamaicans are like Nigerians was the first time I went to Royalty Blue Waters. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, and if you've lived or if you've been going to Jamaica, like there are some hotels, they have rooms that come with butlers. So at Royalty Blue Waters, I stayed at the room. I stayed in the room that comes with a butler and a swimmer pool and all those stuff. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but I'm just gonna say it came with two butlers, right? One was a male, one was a female. The female was amazing. The male, when I checked in, he had already logged off for that day. It became the female. Amazing young lady. Amazing young lady. You know, we still chat up till today. Every time I go, I request, because I remember her saying, hey, request me whenever, you know. So I was like, sure. So every time once, you know, I call them and I want to book a reservation and I tell them, hey, is she still there? They say, yes, she's here. But the second butler, the guy, is gone now. But I wouldn't have requested him because I never really used him. And one thing I like Jamaicans for, they're not full of themselves like Bahamas. Bahamian, I'm sorry. Please don't come for me. I'm just talking about my experience, right? It's okay for me to talk about my experience in these places that I travel to, that I go to. Bahamians, I feel like they want to be Americans. So, but you see, I've been in America for 20-something years, and you can still tell my accent. I don't want to change it, because that's what separates me. If you live in America, you will know in America, they love people with accents, love foreigners. And the only thing, even if I've been here 20-something years, the only thing that I still feel like separate me, because when people see me first time before I open my mouth, they think I'm an American, African American. Even Nigerians sometimes get surprised I'm Nigerian until I start talking and they say, what state are you from? What is it? And most times the people hear my accent, mind you, if they're non-African, right? Other people, they'll be like, are you from the Caribbean? And sometimes I laugh and I'm like, yeah. And then when I keep talking, they'll be like, no, you African. And I'm like, yes, from West Africa, Nigeria. You know, so I try to keep my Nigerian accent. You know, that's one thing that I want to hold on to. That's why I tell Nigerians, there are Nigerians that have never left Nigeria, or even if they've left Nigeria, they don't live abroad. But they want to speak like British people. They want to speak like an American. Why? Why? Keep your God-given accent. It's beautiful. I love my Nigerian accent, and I want to keep it. Even sometimes my daughter is like, it's an American today. And I'm like, I love this beautiful country, America. I love Nigeria. I love Jamaica. I love all the countries I've been to, even the ones that I'm looking to go to. You know, just love everything all around in this world. But I want to keep my Nigerian accent. I never want to let it go. And I don't want to speak like somebody else or any. I am me. I'm not changing it. Okay, sometimes I can speak like an American. Or it comes and goes, right? Because I'm fighting it. I swear to God, I'm fighting it to keep my Nigerian accent. But anyway, so the room came with two butlers, right? And have you subscribed yet? Subscribe right now while you're watching. It came with two butlers. And the lady that day was nice. So there's a Royalty Blue Waters. You can book a reservation for a private chef night. Right? So the private chef night is this little cute room that it was going to be me and my daughter, and I think no more than 10, between 8 and 10 people. So it will be me and my daughter and maybe like 8 or 6 other people. And the chef will cook his own choice of what you guys want, like about 4 or 5 course meal. And so when I got there, I was like, hey, the first thing I want you to book is a private chef for at least 3 nights. We're going to be there for 10 nights. And I'm like, for 3 nights, I want you to book a private chef. Tomorrow night, I want you to start from tomorrow night to book a private chef. Because my daughter was looking forward to it because she has like severe allergies for egg and chicken allergy, very severe. So she's like, I want the private chef because most times when we go to like restaurants, we go to nice restaurants because of her allergies, because then they can cater to her allergies. You know, she's like, I would like for us to get a booked private chef most of the time, Mama, so they can cook stuff, you know. And in the private chef time, you can actually let them know what you are allergic to, okay? Because there's a nice buffet, right? Or you can eat buffet at Royalty Blue Waters, but that you have to pick and choose. And sometimes my daughter worries like, what if he came in contact? If there might not be any chicken or egg or what she wants to eat. What if he already came in contact? Because it has to be contactless too of whatever she's eating. So I told this lady, I said, hey, book a reservation for the private chef for tomorrow. She said yes, she's going to do that. I said, let me know once you've done it. So now we're setting up WhatsApp, because they'll let you know with the butler. She will tell you if you need anything at all, let her know. They do everything for you. Instead of you going to like calling the room service or whatever, you just WhatsApp, you message them, the two butlers, and whoever is there will get it. And then sometimes not all the rooms comes with butler. I'm sure if you've been to Jamaica and if you've been to these nice hotels, you know how it works, how it goes. So I messaged her. I'm like, hey, did you book the later on that day, I said, hey, did you book this? And she said, yeah, she did it. The private chef thing. She said, yeah, she did it. So the next day came and we're getting ready. You know, like, I'm like, oh, when I travel, is it just me? Leave a comment. I look forward to the food. Every time I travel, I'm a homebody. But when I travel, my daughter looks forward to the beaches and, you know, the fun part and stuff. I look forward to the food. Traveling for me is about food, meeting new people, just looking at a way of life, you know, but specifically, especially the food. Even when I'm traveling, when we're traveling like business class, first class, whatever is on the first class, business class is what I'm looking forward to eat, whatever they have to serve. Am I the only one? Leave a comment. So the next day came, we got ready. She told us the time and everything. And we got ready. We got there. They said our names were not there. And I'm like, no, it's there. I even paid, because you have to pay and it's not cheap for the private chef. I'm like, no, we paid and no. Because you told me this is how much it's going to cost and blah, blah, blah. And we paid. But she made a mistake. She booked the reservation, but she didn't finalize it. So she thought she booked it. And she was new. She didn't finalize it. So at this point, they're like, well, is the room is already filled up. The reservation is fully booked. So I was mad. I was mad. My daughter was like, what? I'm like, now we have to go to another restaurant at the hotel and go eat. Because my daughter is like, she didn't want to go to the buffet that day and eat. So I was mad. So I started messaging her like, hey, we already paid. Did we pay or did we not pay? She's like, and I didn't even know. Funny enough, I didn't even know that it was her birthday, right? I'm like, hey, we already paid. Why are they saying that our name is not the reservation? So she's messaging too like, no, I booked it. Let me find out what's going on. So she's finding out. She's already off. She went home already. We're WhatsApping. And then the other guy's like, oh, man, you know. So the guys were like, I can't believe you blew it. Blah, 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 blah. Mind you, these butlers too, they're going to pay them, but they want good tips too when you're checking out. So she's checking with the hotel. I'm pissed. Like, I'm messaging, like, I cannot believe you did this. Blah, 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 blah. I thought you were a nice person. We were jiving. We're this. My daughter is not happy. Like a normal human being, you know, but I'm not cussing out. No. I'm just like trying to complain to her, like, look, my daughter was looking forward to this. And she's like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah. And then later on, she messaged and said she's so sorry. She found out that she booked, but she did not finalize it. There's a process that it goes. So she just thought she booked it. She paid. The money was paid. So now everything is good. But there's a process. There are like one more step she had to go to make sure our name was put down, right, on the reservation, but she didn't. So I was like, man, I'm not happy about this. So the sad thing, this is why I said Jamaicans are like Nigerians. The sad thing, she was already home. She was out. It was her birthday. She came back. And this is what Nigerians would do. But it's the way she was acting when she came back. Because she didn't want to get fired from her job, and she was fairly new. And I wasn't even complaining. I just told them, okay, I need a refund. And she was like, yeah, they will refund. She didn't, if she told me she was coming back, I would have told her no. She will be here tomorrow. Let's take care of it. She didn't say anything. And this is why I said they're like Nigerians. She came back, knocked at my door, and knelt down. Once I opened the door, she went on her knees. And like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Just like this. That's what we do in Nigeria. She went on and said, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, please. I know. And then she goes, I know you're a nice person, please don't be mad at me, please. It was just a mistake that I didn't know that I was supposed to go through. She knelt down, and I was so embarrassed, and I was so like flustered, and I was ashamed, you know, and I had to hold her and like, no, please, oh my God, please get up. Please, I beg you, get up, please. Stop insulting me, stop embarrassing me. Oh my gosh, it made me feel so, and it took me all the way back again to Nigeria, just seeing like our like house helps, people that used to help us at the house, when they would do something wrong, like they would kneel down and say, Mommy, please, like to my mom, or Daddy, please, or to like elders, people that they're working for, like, please, they would kneel down and they'll be like, get up. You know, you don't need to kneel down. I was like, please. And I told her, I said, please don't ever kneel down for me to apologize or to anybody ever again. She's like, oh, you know, no, she just want to show how much, you know, she knows that she has messed up. Like, I should please forgive her. I'm like, no. So she got up, and I'm like, please don't ever again. Please, I feel so bad, and I feel embarrassed. No, please. Then I told her, I'm like, you guys are just like Nigerians. She's like, yeah, I know. Other Nigerians have said that before. I'm like, please don't ever kneel down for anybody ever again, except for God. You know, don't ever. I'm like, you can just stand and tell me you're sorry, and, you know, it was an error, and you didn't need to come back. And then she's like, no, I was out already with my friends, and they were celebrating my birthday. I was like, it's your birthday, you came here? I'm like, man, I almost cried. Ooh, I'm tearing now. So I'm like, no, you shouldn't have come here. You should have just WhatsApp me like, please, I'll be there tomorrow. And I would, if you told me you were on your way, I would have told you. But just to say their attitude, and then it continued from there. The other Jamaicans, the way they act, they're just like Nigerians. And you know, they chill. Jamaicans, they chill. Everything is no big deal, no big deal. You know, don't worry, we'll take care of it with a smile on their face, you know. So I said that to say the reason why they're Nigerians. She literally went on her knees. I was like, oh my God, you guys are like Nigerian. But she got up, and then we started talking about the similarities, how they're so similar. Their actions, the way they act. They're like Nigerians. You know, we started to say things. And then I told her, I said, okay, are you going to go back? Then I told her, I said, come inside. You know, she came in. I said, sit down. She sat down. I'm like, tell your friends you'll be on your way, but let's talk. We started to talk. I'm like, tell me more. And then the way she was acting, her mannerism, the way she was doing stuff, they're just like Nigerians. I was like, oh my God, you guys are just like Nigerians. She's like, yeah, I've heard that before. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, it can be so much word apart, right? Like a word apart. But because of that slavery, because of what happened centuries ago, years ago, right? But in here, right? From the gut, from the attitude, it still didn't change. It's still the same. As much as the separation was there, but at the same time, they might be Jamaicans, but they're still Africans. You know, the ones that are Nigerians are still acting like Nigerians. The ones that are Ghanaians, you know, in here, and in here. They still act like it. That's why in Jamaica, they listen to a lot of, if you've been to Jamaica, like you go to the beaches or you just hear music, there's a lot of Afrobeat music. In Jamaica, they play a lot of Whiskey. They play a lot of Kiss Daniel, Burna Boy. Whiskey and Burna Boy, #1 in Jamaica song. In Bahamas, is Davido, #1, before any other person. But it's always Kiss Daniel. Like after Whiskey, Burna Boy, they love Kiss Daniel song. In Bahamas too, Davido, and then they love Kiss Daniel song. And then other songs too. You know what I'm saying? And then they love Nigerian movies. They love Afrobeat, especially Nigerian Afrobeat songs. They love it. You know? So, and they will tell you, I'm Nigerian. No, I'm Nigerian. And I'm like, it can be Ghanaian, Kenya. They're like, no, I'm Nigerian. No. You know, I remember I was going to this flea market, and the moment, are you Nigerian? I'm like, oh, my sister, my sister. I'm like, and then that was cracking me up. And then they want to hug you, like, you're my sister, you're Nigerian. And then I remember some friends I met there, they were from Kenya and Senegal. And I'm like, aren't you our sister too? Why do you have to be from Nigeria and not Kenya or Senegal? I'm like, no, we're Nigerians. We're Nigerians because we act like Nigerians. We love how Nigerian people act. We love, they don't hide anything. They're just like us. They speak their mind, their attitude, everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm going to end this video here. What do you guys think? I can go on and on about how Nigerians are so similar and act like, how Jamaicans are so similar with to Jamaicans, and they act like Jamaica. So that's why I love going there, and I love them. Wagwan. Wagwan, Jamaicans. Wagwan. I say wagwan. What you say? Leave a comment. I'm going to end this video here. And what is your own experience going to Jamaica? What's your own experience? If you're Nigerian, if you're African, what is your own experience going there? Leave a comment. And Jamaicans, if you see this video, what's your own experience with Africans, with Nigerians that come to Jamaica? It's a lot of Nigerians that come to Jamaica every year. What's your own experience coming to Jamaica? Leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Next time I go to Jamaica, I'm going to do a little vlog, because I really like to soak it all in when I travel. I don't like to shoot, take pictures. I take picture here and there, video here and there. But next time I go, I'm going to do a mini vlog and upload it here so you guys can see. You guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget, treat others the way you like to be treated.